Hello, my name is Eric, and this is a little introduction to the oboe and the Cor Anglais. The oboe is part of the woodwind family that consists of the flute, oboe, clarinet, and bassoon. Like most of the other woodwind instruments, it's usually made of wood, but it can be made of various plastics or other synthetic materials. Usually it's made of African blackwood, which is also called grenadilla. But you can find examples made of rosewood or violet wood, cocobolo or other exotic woods, and the different material will have an effect on the tone of the instrument. This one here, my oboe, is made of plastic at the top and African blackwood down at the bottom. This is to help avoid cracking in the winter with temperature and humidity changes. The oboe is also part of the double reed family, which includes the bassoon as well. They're called this because they're played using a double reed, which is two pieces of cane that are held together with string. Compared to some of the other instruments of the orchestra, and even some of the other woodwind instruments, the oboe has a fairly small range, going from a B-flat 3 down here to a G-sharp 6 up here. The oboe is often used for its beautiful singing quality in long flowing solos. You might recognize it from this example from Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake. We can also play fast, fiery passages, such as this example from Rossini's The Silken Ladder. Sometimes composers will call on an oboist to play more than one note at once. This is called a multiphonic, and we achieve it by using special fingerings. They usually sound quite loud and raucous, like this. Other times, if we have a particularly long phrase to play and we don't have time to breathe during it, some of us will use a technique called circular breathing, where we fill our cheeks with air and use that air whilst we simultaneously breathe in through the nose. It looks and sounds something like this. Some of the most famous oboists include Albrecht Meyer, who's the principal oboist in the Berlin Philharmonic, François Leleu, who is a French oboist known mostly as a soloist, and Heinz Holliger, who's a Swiss oboist who spent a lot of time in the 20th century composing new works for the oboe and developing new techniques for the oboe. Closer to home, we've got examples like John Anderson, the former principal of the English Chamber Orchestra, who's also widely recorded as a soloist, and late oboists Lady Evelyn Barbaroli and Leon Goossens, who really popularized the British style of oboe playing. The big brother of the oboe is called the Cor Anglais. It's very similar, but its reed is slightly different, a bit larger. It's got a crook in one end up here, and a peculiar egg-shaped bulge down here on its end. The range of the Cor Anglais is a little bit lower than the oboe. It goes from an E3 down here to a C6 up here. Whilst you may not have heard of the Cor Anglais before, you've almost certainly heard it in the orchestra. You can hear it in this particularly lovely passage from Dvorak's Ninth Symphony. it from this passage, from Rossini's William Tell Overture. Nearly all oboists will have to play the Cor Anglais, and we're expected to be able to switch back and forth between them very quickly and easily in the orchestra. I really hope you've enjoyed this little introduction to my instruments, the oboe and the Cor Anglais. If you'd like any further information, please feel free to get in touch with the Arts Active Trust in Cardiff. Maybe one of these days, I'll be seeing you playing the oboe or the Cor Anglais in your local orchestra. Happy playing, and thank you very much for watching.